Question for the people who do mask, who are single, who are dating, who are queer, genuinely. And I'm not gonna.
This video might be long, but I wanted to share at least some of my experiences with this because I think they're a bit different or maybe a bit nuanced and could possibly help and support. For anyone that doesn't know, my name is Ami. My pronouns are he, him. I'm Black, queer, trans, neuroexpansive, COVID conscious, and disabled, all the many things. And I'm a migrant and a world traveler. I have lived in / traveled to 9 different countries in the last 4 years. And as you can imagine, that has impacted my relationships greatly. Now, this person was talking mainly about how with dating and trying to find people, especially for queer folks that are still masking, how you differentiate between being open to dating people who are currently not masking, to do you only date people that also mask, to the point of there are people that are actually in the current process of radicalization that maybe would mask but maybe don't have the information or don't have the context or the resources, so on and so forth. All those things are super valid. I'll start with this. Right now, where I'm at in my life, I am focusing my relationships and pouring my energy into connections with other people who also take COVID precautions. And the wiggle room I'm allowing myself is that someone came in my life that they showed an interest in I want to do these things, I just don't know how. Depending on the dynamic, depending on things, I would be willing to help them do that. With that being said, I've had both situations where I've had people in my life that before were not masking, who on their own volition started masking when they became closer to me. I've had people also that COVID and talking about masking and taking precautions became a tension point, and we're no longer in each other's lives as actively. So I've grieved relationships in this whole process. I bring up the fact that I've traveled because, quite frankly, I have been in the situation, maybe not rural USA, but I've been in different places in the world where there is no access to other queer or trans people. There is no access or spaces to meet other people that I feel connected to, or other people that are masking or taking precautions. And so the reason I say that is the reality is it was isolating at times. I will say I'm just now as I'm in LA right now, getting and able to kind of branch out and really practice, because here's the thing is I spent all these years especially the last year really standing on my COVID consciousness, and that's been beautiful and I'm so grateful for it. And also it's been an isolating year at times, and just now I'm practicing and having conversations with people where we're mutually talking about testing and precautions and hey, if I have a potential exposure. That's been beautiful. And the reasonings why I've decided to mostly focus on connections in my life with other people who are COVID conscious is I realize a lot of this is community based. A lot of this is support based. It's really hard to be COVID conscious by yourself. And so for me, I needed to realize that I need to build my own capacity and my own ability to do this. And that means I needed to surround people in my intimate relationships, whether that be friendships, romantic, whatever the case may be, that were also doing these things that could carry and hold that burden or load of trying to survive a pandemic with me. This is not to say that I won't date people in the future that don't mask, but I think that's an important piece. Another thing that I feel is important to say is that all of this is about negotiation. So when I talk about with people, the intricacies of it haven't even been always do you mask or do you not mask? I've had conversations with people where we have different levels of COVID consciousness, where mine are lower or someone else's is higher or someone else's is lower than mine. And that's just having me practice how can I meet the most marginal? How can we meet the highest level of vulnerability? As far as what people decide, I feel the reasons I decided not to date people that do not mask, at least in this last year, is it became too much of a risk to me that I feel I wasn't able to take. It wasn't even a romantic relationship, but a very close friendship to me. It was I felt I couldn't be truly present in that connection because I had the awareness of the way COVID impacts me and other people and the ways that it's impacted my body and disabled me, and also not wanting that. When I'm engaging with you or I'm in close proximity to you and I can't feel present in that because I'm worried in the back of my mind, oh my gosh, how much of a risk this is, what I need to do when I get back home to mitigate this risk. that was not allowing me to actually be present and actually sit in and actually be grounded in the connection I'm trying to build with you. And also another reason is, to me, it became very hard to cultivate emotional and mental safety with someone that I didn't feel like I had physical safety with. And that's something I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like in all of my relationships. Not all of them. And for folks, I don't know this personally, but I know folks that are still actively sometimes dating folks that do not mask, who are COVID conscious, and maybe they can speak to that more. What I can offer is that, and validate that can be isolating. Like I said, there's places I've traveled where it's very hard to find and meet other queer people. And also, I've had to rely a lot on virtual connections. So a lot of my connections this last year have been with folks either were long distance, or I connect with folks from different spaces I met via different like COVID conscious groups or spaces, or people I have mutuals or things like that. So basically, this is not easy. And I think this is part of it, is like having these conversations, talking about it. Also, folks can find each other. Like, listen, I don't know, talk with each other in the comments of this video. I don't know. Also find like other people. I feel like the way we combat this too is realizing that like there may be travel, which I know travel is a risk within itself, but like maybe we have to travel and find each other. Or maybe we just have to put ourselves out there and talk about these things. So I think we're actively doing it. And I just want to thank this creator for asking this question. I'm open to going in more in depth in any of the things I've shared. And also open to continuing this conversation. I love y'all. Peace.